Almost the entirety of my 20 years at Marvel, this has been on a list of movies we dream of making. Everybody should be able to look up at that big screen.
Before we start, I want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel! Even though it's approaching Halloween, superheroes beat horrors at the box office this week, with Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings battling it out for the second week in a row. Let's see why Shang-Chi stays at number 1 for a second week in a row. Number 5. Shang-Chi is a huge hit.
This is crazy. I'm specifically impressed how many people managed to reverse engineer the costume.
After a long period of silence, Marvel and Disney have reintroduced some of their new films to cinemas. Both Disney and Marvel have released films that have gotten a lot of buzz. While The Legend of the Ten Rings is a fresh movie, its popularity has already set the ground for a new theatrical release schedule for subsequent films. Shang-Chi is a huge hit, and proof that, even from Hollywood's largest franchise, audiences still want new stories, not just familiar characters. 3 weeks before the premiere of Marvel's newest superhero film, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the lead actor and the distributor appeared to be preparing for a battle of their own. Given that it would be the company's first franchise movie since the beginning of the coronavirus epidemic to reach cinemas without concurrently streaming on Disney+, Disney CEO Bob Chapek called the film an interesting experiment. Shang-Chi's actor, Simu Liu, replied on social media saying, "We are not an experiment, we are the surprise." Number 4. Shang-Chi made $90 million in its opening weekend.
He is the mightiest hand-to-hand fighter. That is kind of what the comics say.
Literally what he's
I didn't make the rules.
Shang-Chi stayed at the top of the box office rankings in its second weekend, grossing $35.8 million domestically. The superhero standalone had a total domestic gross of $145.6 million after screening in 4,300 cinemas. Simu Liu stars as Marvel's newest hero in the PG-13 film, which has an A cinema score and is the studio's first to have an Asian protagonist. Shang-Chi now has the highest second weekend gross since the epidemic began, surpassing Black Widow's $25.8 million. The Marvel film made a huge $90 million in its opening weekend, making it the second biggest 3-day launch of the pandemic so far, behind fellow Marvel Studios film Black Widow and ahead of Universal's F9. Shang-Chi, unlike Black Widow, which debuted in cinemas and on Disney Plus Premier Access on the same day, is only available in theaters. Number 3. Other films to retain the audience's attention. Another Disney film that continues to retain its audience's attention comes in at a far second. Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds, plummeted 32% in its 5th week in cinemas, passing the $100 million milestones at the box office with a total of $101.8 million. On large format displays, both Shang-Chi and Free Guy played admirably. For the weekend, the former made $5.3 million in IMAX theaters for a total of $21 million, while the latter earned $1.7 million for a total of $19.7 million. Malignant, a Warner Brothers New Line film, came in third with a mediocre $5.57 million from 3,500 sites in its debut weekend. The film grossed an estimated $6.3 million internationally for a total of $9.5 million worldwide, bringing the total to $15.1 million. Annabelle Wallis plays a lady who experiences violent visions only to discover that they are all true in James Wan's R-rated horror film. Candyman, a horror film, and The Jungle Cruise, a family action comedy, round out the top 5. The MGM and Universal slasher earned $4.8 million in its third weekend of play from 3,200 theaters, plummeting 53% to $48 million domestically. After 7 weeks in cinemas, the Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt two-hander grossed $2.4 million for a domestic total of $109.9 million. Number 2. Shang-Chi is only available in cinemas.
But I could never escape his shadow.
The fact that Shang-Chi is only available in cinemas has aided its second weekend performance. According to Variety, Black Widow premiered in cinemas and on Disney Plus streaming service at the same time. According to the website, Shang-Chi has grossed $145.6 million in domestic cinemas, including a $90 million opening weekend. According to Variety, Shang-Chi has made more than $257.6 million worldwide, making it the fourth highest grossing picture of 2021. Shang-Chi also grossed $5.3 million in IMAX cinemas during the weekend, bringing the total to $21 million. Number 1. A Marvel movie tops the box office.
Success that Marvel's been able to harness.
I think less about the success and more about the potential and the future.
Shang-Chi's instant fame, however, isn't the most revealing measure of its success thus far. Even on holidays, profits for films that are part of a blockbuster series tend to be considerably greater on Saturdays than on Sundays. It's hardly unexpected that a Marvel movie rapidly tops the box office, but Shang-Chi's continuous viewership is notable. Its tenacity demonstrates the necessity of a risk-averse studio's attention to innovation, which is often obvious to artists but overlooked by risk-averse firms. For spectators, the picture is creatively satisfying, enough to drive favorable and consistent word-of-mouth support. Even though moviegoers are lured to franchises, they still want original tales. Shang-Chi boldly introduces its viewers to a new group of major characters and a new area of the Marvel Universe, without featuring a single pioneer Avenger in its primary ensemble. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.